The Russian invasion of Ukraine is currently on day 22. In the latest, remains of a downed missile hit a 16-story residential building in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. At least one person has been killed and 3 have been injured in this incident. 30 people have been evacuated and the fire has been doused currently. Once again, the top updates from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Russian invasion is currently in day 22. And the latest update is that the remains of a downed missile hit a 16-story residential building in the Ukrainian capital. At least one person has been killed, 3 others injured in this incident. Tensions continue to escalate, with the US President Joe Biden calling Vladimir Putin a war criminal. And the Kremlin has responded, calling this statement unforgivable and unacceptable. Moreover, authorities in Ukraine's besieged port city, that is Mariupol, say that Russian forces hit a theatre where reportedly hundreds of civilians were taking shelter. Some more updates of the Russian attacks. Ukraine says that 10 people were killed after coming under fire while they were queuing up for bread in the northern city of Chernihiv, and Russia has responded by denying that its forces shot Ukrainians. It has denied this claim that the forces shot Ukrainians. The Russian invasion is currently in day 22. The remains of a downed missile have hit a 16-story residential building in Kyiv. At least one person has been killed. 3 others have been reportedly injured. From what we understand, 30 people have been evacuated and the fire has now been doused. With the war is now entering the 4th week, the US has also increased its support for Ukraine as diplomatic efforts continue to secure a ceasefire, seemingly. Ukraine has clearly said that Russia attacked a theatre and a pool facility in Mariupol where hundreds of civilians were taking shelter. Moscow has come out and denied this claim. US President Joe Biden has called his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, a war criminal. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has also announced an additional $800 million in security assistance to Ukraine. Remember, yesterday, Ukraine's President Zelensky addressed US Congress and repeated his calls for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Russian President Putin has said that Moscow will achieve its goals in Ukraine, and the Kremlin has slammed the Biden administration's comments, calling the Russian president a war criminal. Now, for more details about what's happening in the Ukrainian capital, WION's correspondent Mallick is now joining us live from Kyiv. Anas, thanks for joining us. Now, as we just told our viewers about the recent casualty that has now been confirmed after a downed missile hit a residential area, what more can you tell us?
Well, yes, a 16-story building in the west of the city has been targeted overnight, and at least 35 people are confirmed that who have been rescued from there. Now, there was a big fire that was there as well, and the state emergency services say that a 16-story building was hit as a result of a downed rocket. That's what they say, and that it caused a fire as well in a partial collapse of the structure. And it also says that in the state emergency services report that the upper floors of the apartment building are still on fire. At least 3 people are injured, whereas another 35 have been evacuated. But this is a series, what we're seeing, of attacks that continue on Kyiv residents, and this has been ongoing at least for the past 5 days or so. The entire week we've seen residential compounds one after the other in different parts of the city being attacked, despite of the fact that the Russian side says that it would be attacking or targeting the military installations.
Right. Anas, we also would like your inputs on another reports coming in that Ukraine has said that Russia attacked a theatre and a pool facility in Mariupol where reportedly hundreds of civilians were taking shelter. Moscow has denied these claims. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, yesterday we saw the report coming in. In fact, it was confirmed by the Mariupol City Council that a theatre, a drama theatre, which was serving as a refugee center for the citizens, has been attacked and rather razed to the ground what they claim was an airstrike done by the Russian side, though the Russian side has denied it. But there were, just to give you an account, that there were hundreds and hundreds of people from Mariupol city, because it has been under heavy bombardment and heavy shelling as well, who were staying there. The fate of them is still unclear. Now, Russian side, we understand that they have denied it, but the Ukrainian side are adamant that it has been done by the Russian side. That is something that's a challenge to verify, because as they say, the first casualty of war is the truth. But by the looks of it, it might just be a Russian action, as to what ground sources indicate. Priyanka.
Absolutely, Anas. Just a final question there. Diplomatic efforts are on to secure a possible ceasefire as we speak. But US President Joe Biden called Russian President Vladimir Putin a war criminal. The Kremlin has called these comments unforgivable and unacceptable. Is this going to lead to a rise in tensions?
Well, absolutely, it will. It will go towards a rise in tension between both Russia and USA, and Russia and Ukraine as well, because it's the impact of the war that is leading to such comments being passed. But one thing to the first part of your question is with regards to ceasefire. Well, there have been talks, and there have been concrete talks, and the round of negotiations that is now to continue today as well for the fourth consecutive day, the fourth round of negotiations, it seems to be shaping up into some form, one or the other, and it has now progressed from main committees to subcommittees, where they are negotiating the contours of a possible agreement, to quote the Russian foreign minister. Now, what is on the agenda except for the ceasefire? That is something to be looked out for. That is something that is being talked about as well. And to what extent would the concessions be given by the Ukrainian side to the Russians, and vice versa? That will be something very, very closely watched out, because we have to keep in mind that the Russian progression and aggression towards Kyiv continues, number one, and number two, Russia is also sending more and more reinforcements. So in case if they want a seizure of hostilities, a ceasefire or status quo to maintain, then the least that has to be done is to withdraw the forces, which at least for the time being does not seem to be part of the agenda. Priyanka.
Anas Mallick, thanks so much for all those updates, and thanks for joining us from Kyiv at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.